message Kevin.
Coming up, we have stories on winter sports, onward travel, and New Year wishes.
But first, with COVID-19 impacting all of our lives, Lydia Mae Roderick looks at how this pandemic has been affecting the lives of those at MCI.
This coronavirus pandemic may be affecting different students in different ways in a mental health aspect, especially considering the lifestyle changes and school schedule changes that came with it. Hi, I'm Lydia Mae Roderick, covering the effects of the coronavirus pandemic on our students here on campus. In an interview with Mrs. Batchelder, our campus counselor, she revealed that many students she has talked with are feeling really frustrated right now, especially with the loss of sports and time with friends, particularly in the freshman class, and general fear of the coronavirus.
I'm seeing many different feelings, emotions, situations with students in my office. I would say the most common feeling or emotion I'm seeing is I'm seeing a lot of frustration within our students. I'm seeing frustration from just remote learning, not being familiar with remote learning. I'm also seeing a frustration within the lack of or change in extracurricular activities. So we all know that football was, significantly different than previous years. The winter sports are have been postponed. So we're, and students really rely on those activities. So, frustrated within that. And then also just frustrated not seeing their friends. Many, especially within the freshman class, but, many, students have their cliques, and, it happens to be with the cohorts that they're not going to school with their friends. So they're having to either make new friends or they're uncomfortable doing that. And so they're finding that they're more lonely. The other feeling or what else I'm seeing is a lot of anxiety, just being in the unknown. Many kids are just, not really sure how to deal with this or don't really know what's coming their way. So it's causing a lot of anxiety. And also just worried about being sick. So on the other spectrum is, kids are worried about, getting their family sick. They might have a family member who's high risk and worried about getting that family member sick. So a lot of that. And then lastly, I'm seeing grief. And that's just the lack of normalcy, inconsistent schedules, wondering if you're going to be remote one day or in person one day or the next. So kids, as we all know it, they need structure and that normalcy, and they're not getting it this year. So that is causing a lot of issues within our students.
Her advice to students who are feeling down right now includes the quote, "We are not all in the same boat, but we are all in the same storm," as well as so much more.
Talk. It sounds so simple, but it really can go far. Is talking to your loved ones, talking to a trusted adult, identifying a trusted adult before things get tough. So when they do get tough, you can go right to that person. Also friends, they're not an adult figure, they're not a professional, but man, friends can do a lot when you're struggling. So just identifying a good support system, a circle, and being ready to talk to those people when you're feeling down.
In an interview with our headmaster, Mr. McDonald, he emphasizes the fact that what he decides to do for our school requires a lot of balance in making different groups of students as well as parents, faculty, and staff happy. He also emphasizes that this pandemic did not come with a manual.
Well, you're right. It's interesting because I think your characterization of that being kind of in the middle is correct, because there's the needs of the students, right? There's the needs of the families. There's the needs of the teachers, and there's the needs of the employees. And then there's the social or cultural construct of the CDC, trying to balance safety with, losing, academic time, sport time, all that stuff. So it's when COVID came, COVID didn't come with a manual, didn't come with a directions or a guide on what you're supposed to do, right? So it's really just trying to figure out how to balance, all these external voices that are all have some merit, have some purpose, and trying to find a balance that may not be what some people completely want, but what you can live with, right? So that's the big challenge from probably my point of view, and probably Miss Littlefield, who's in charge of MS 8053, in charge of Warsaw, Vickery, and Manson, just trying to figure out how we can do that here safely in Pittsfield.
When asked about what the next couple of months may look like, Mr. McDonald seems incredibly positive and hopeful about the multiple vaccine options which may be offered, and even provided an in-depth explanation about each and every one of them.
Big player in the vaccine game is Johnson & Johnson. And they're behind Moderna. So right now we have Pfizer, who's come out with theirs. Moderna's about to come out with theirs, I believe, sometime this week. And then behind those guys is Johnson & Johnson. Now, why is that important? Why do I mention that to you? Two reasons. One, Johnson & Johnson has made a ton of these vaccines. Two, they're a one-shot vaccine. All the other ones, you have to take 2 shots. You get one and you get another one a month later. 3, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is refrigerated. It doesn't have to be in that negative 40 degrees holding compartment. That means they can spread it quickly to everybody. Every pharmacist has a refrigerator. Not every pharmacy has dry ice at minus 40 degrees. So the fact that if Johnson & Johnson can go online by early February, that's going to go everywhere in this country.
This is Lydia Mae Roderick, signing off.
With summer psychotic being shifted to green light domain, Department of Education, winter sports here at MCI will proceed. Ronnie Show has more details.
Hi, I'm Ronnie talking about winter sports with Jem Leonard.
Alright, I just have some questions about winter sports.
Okay.
Alright, my first question is, what are winter sports looking like as a whole this year?
Well, we're going to be offering basketball, indoor track, and wrestling. And all 3 begin on different dates.
Okay.
Basketball is going to begin next Monday with individualized workouts down in Wright Gym, which means that no scrimmaging or contact will be allowed, but the players will be with their teams and they'll be able to do, individual dribbling, individual shooting, stuff like that.
Okay.
And that will continue until January 11th when the teams will begin scrimmaging full time. And indoor track will begin on January 11th as well in Parks Gym. And wrestling is not slated to begin until February 22nd.
Okay.
So those are the 3 sports that we have. At some point in mid-February, we will begin the 2nd season of eSports, which is the computer games that are sponsored by the MPA. And those will begin in mid-February.
All right. Okay, so my next question is, do you think winter sports are going to have a positive impact on students with all the negativity happening with COVID?
Absolutely. Anything that distracts you from the current situation in the world is a good thing.
Okay. Will students be able to play against other schools while having to keep their 6 feet apart?
As long as we are designated yellow, all we can do is practice. When we are green, we will be able to compete against other schools and in full competition with contact and no social distancing. But that's only, let's say that we're a green school and the team that we're going to play tomorrow night is yellow, we will not be able to play that game. But if the other school is a green school, if their county is green, then we can just play a regular game. But you're still going to have masks on the entire winter.
Okay. Do you think winter sports will be difficult for students and coaches?
I think it's going to be. It's going to provide some challenges. I don't want to say difficult. It's going to be challenging, but we will get it done.
Next is Mr. Allen asking Natalie Hodgins about winter sports.
Do you think winter sports are going to have a positive impact on students with all the negativity happening with COVID?
I do. I think a lot of kids are looking forward to having something to do after school. I know I am.
Do you think winter sports will be difficult for students and coaches?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of changes and we don't really know when we'll be able to play games. So that's a struggle right now, and having to wear masks during practice is a bit of a challenge.
What do you think winter sports will look like for yourself and your teammates?
That's a little up in the air right now. Right now, it's all individualized, so we can't do any team drills or scrimmages. So we'll find out tonight at practice.
What is one thing you are looking forward to this year?
I'm looking forward to just being with my teammates again and hopefully getting together and being able to play a few games.
MCI has a long-standing relationship with our sister school in Amore, Japan, and Lucas Halferty tells us how the pandemic has impacted this relationship.
I'm Lucas from the Bell Tower Press, and today I'm going to be talking to Mr. Robinson and one of the students at MCI, Ron Choi, about the history of MCI and Amore and what it might look like this year. So, what is the Amore program?
So, currently the Amore Minami program is broken into two categories. It's titled the Amore Travelers and the Amore Hosts. And we operate as one club, and the distinguishing piece between that, why it's got the two names, is some students have no interest in traveling to Japan. And the other side of that, some students, whether they don't have the capabilities of hosting students when they come to Pittsfield, to our MCI community or not, but they don't want to be involved with necessarily having students at their house. So we've given that option to say, hey, you can be part of the program, and it's not saying you're going to guarantee to have a spot for them to stay. Or if you're part of the program, it doesn't mean you have to go to Japan. There's a range in there. So, but that's what the club's about. It's a sister school relationship with the senior high school in Amore Minami Province, Japan, and the Amore Province, Amore Minami Senior High School. And typically part of their program is they've always come here every year. They've got a specific English-speaking school program they're in, and they come here every fall. And then we've typically traveled there every other year. And due to, understandably so, with the current pandemic and COVID-19 guidelines, they did not come this fall, and we didn't have plans to travel there either. So it'll be the first year that hasn't happened. And 2 years ago, we did welcome about 45 students here.
Okay. Do you have any words of encouragement for students or parents who are interested in this program?
I'm smiling under my mask right now. I jokingly say, if you haven't tried sushi before, because I was there, try it. There's lots of cooked sushi. No, I really say that jokingly. But for words of encouragement, I think just come out and see what we're about. Learn something new, find out what different cultures can bring to the table as far as opportunities, new experiences. And, I think that the more we can have these, I want to say the word collaboration, but the more we can get students together and planning and thinking and, working together as a team is a good thing. So I'm not saying that Amore is a team, but that idea of getting together and collaborating and communicating with students across the globe and benefiting from that.
Okay. Why do you encourage students to participate in this program, and what makes it a fulfilling experience for high school students?
I think it fits that you asked me this today based on us having our Cultural Heritage Day celebration. I think that a lot of us here at MCI take for granted that we are representative of the world. I know that it depends on different classes, number of students you might have, but I think the number was 22 nations, right? Today, countries, nations, places that are being represented right here in Pittsfield, Maine, which you just don't get in Central Maine. And so here's another stem from that. We have an opportunity to travel abroad every other year for this being part of this program. And we're not talking traveling to New York City or Boston or even Canada, right? Neighboring country, but we're talking traveling across the world where life is very different. And I think that that's the fulfilling piece. The people before me, students and the mentors in this program, spoke to it every year about what a genuine relationship you make with someone by welcoming them into your home. And so can you develop genuine, real relationships that, can build from there? So can we be on the same page as far as what life's like here in Maine versus across the globe? So I think that's the fulfilling piece. I think that Being part of something bigger than yourself is always nice, but I think just getting to open your eyes as young adults what life, is like around the world. And we're able to do that with the world we live in with the internet and technology and sort of thing.
Here I'm talking to one of the students at MCI, Yuran Choi, about her involvement in the AMORE program, saying that this is her first year having her role in the program, and talks about the great experiences that are involved in the program and tries to encourage any other students that are interested.
Upon graduation, all students become members of the MCI Alumni Association. ACE/CHINCAT investigates what exactly the Alumni Association is.
Hello, my name is ACE/CHINCAT. It's no secret that the high school experience for students is one that is jam-packed with academics, extracurriculars, and careful planning, especially for the students attending Maine Central Institute. From passing football to passing classes, the life of an MCI student is undeniably busy. So it comes as no surprise when my fellow students did not know what the MCI Alumni Association was when I asked them about it. Hey Nick, do you know what the MCI Alumni Association is?
No.
Okay. Hey Randy, do you know what the Alumni Association is at MCI?
No.
Okay, see ya.
Hello?
Hey John, do you know what the Alumni Association is at MCI?
Absolutely not.
Okay. No reason. Bye. As disconcerting as this is, it makes sense, as it's hard for an MCI student to keep up with all the activity that happens around MCI. To further understand and subsequently educate about the Alumni Association's important role around the MCI campus and beyond, I took the time to speak with 3 individuals to get the full scoop on the MCIAA.
The MCI Alumni Association is comprised of well over 7,000 alumni. Our mission is to help promote ongoing activities, events, special, I don't know how you want to put it, special activities at school, and obviously to reach out to alums to help them keep abreast of things that are going on at school. The Alumni Association has been in existence, if you will, since 1903. You can well imagine that there are many alums. And it isn't just here in New England or the United States. We have alums all over the world.
I think the best way is to really say what the Alumni Association is.
Okay.
So every student who graduates from MCI joins by default the Alumni Association. Okay? And what that is that, the school was founded in 1866. You become a part of an organization that has many connections throughout the world. Their function is really to bring people together.
Yeah, we're kind of revamping our goals a little bit currently. Typically, the organization or the group has been a smaller sector associated with promoting activities and events for alum to participate in, and also now we're, I think, refocusing a little bit more to engage and support current students so that they feel a little bit more excited about being an alum and staying connected to the school after they graduate.
I think one of their main roles really is just to keep their class organized, issue class notes, who's getting married, babies, deaths, job, notorieties, NBA draft, NHL draft. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's one, is to keep people informed, connected.
So you mentioned a little bit how the Alumni Association is kind of gradually leaning towards being more active in a school sense. For right now, does the Alumni Association have any active role in the day-to-day life of a student? Do students see an impact from the association just in school or something like that?
Well, I think they're trying to. For example, I think every student that was on the honor roll this term is going to be getting a handwritten note from members of the Alumni Association.
Wow.
At your graduation, everybody gets a T-shirt, and that's sponsored by the Alumni Association, and that's a welcome into the organization.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're looking for ways into things they can do for the senior class.
The involvement as current students during the school year, it hasn't been as regular, and that's something that we're working on So most recently we did a virtual event, Zoom Trivia, which, as you know, you were a participant in, and I think what we were trying to do there was just offer an opportunity to bridge a gap between alumni group and organization and current students.
We issue out $250 scholarships to a guy and gal during every graduation. We also hand out T-shirts to seniors. I'm going to say about a week to 2 weeks before graduation.
If there is kind of one statement or thing you'd say to anybody watching this, specifically students currently, what would you kind of say to them or suggest them to do or something like that?
Yeah, I'd encourage them to consider the fact that we are cognizant that they haven't had the same opportunity that we had, that we highlight in some of our memories of MCI. We understand that your experience is a little bit different than what we celebrate. And so you maybe utilize that as an opportunity to be a voice in the group in regards to how to stay connected to the school, how to revisit some traditions or create your own traditions as a young alum group that maybe you didn't experience, that you weren't able to experience, for example, because of the current situation.
Suggestions, ideas, thoughts from our local SAD district, that's Pittsfield, Burnham, Detroit. We are always welcoming those comments from townspeople and parents of students and international students, their parents, so on and so forth. Absolutely, that is critical.
So I would encourage current students to really utilize this as an opportunity to make a voice for what you feel is important for MCI and for you. It's tough to go through what we're going through, but we are behind everybody 100,000%. We congratulate everybody that is concerned, faculty, students, in everything that they do every day.
Not only does the MCI Alumni Association create appeal for attending MCI, but it also manages to keep thousands upon thousands of alums all over the world connected, an uncommon feat in today's high schools and a tradition that has lasted for over 117 years. It's clear to me, and I hope it's clear to you as well, that the MCI Alumni Association isn't a club of graduates from years past. Instead, it is a rich, intricate network of individuals that spans to every corner of the globe and acts as an extension of MCI that you, MCI student, will soon be a part of. From Boston to Beijing, it seems that no one can truly be too far from a home like MCI. Reporting for the Bell Tower Press News, I'm Asa Jinket. While some of us are only on campus for each school day, for many students their entire school revolves around the MCI campus. Daeun Kim investigates campus living.
The next story is about campus life. I asked Mrs. Thompson, who is a dorm parent, about daily life on campus and some advantages. She thinks the best thing is that we can get to know each other more while living in campus and experience different cultures with students from different countries. She enjoys campus life a lot. They do different kinds of activities on weekends for dorm students. They have hiking and Walmart trip for students who like to participate. They can also experience each country's culture together with different students from various countries. The next is I've interviewed Greta, who lives in dorm. She's gonna tell about students' daily life on campus. Could you tell me about your daily life on campus?
So normally I'm not going to breakfast, so I'm going directly to class. And we have class till 3:20, and I normally have ballet at 4, so my whole life is pretty planned on the schedule. So after ballet I go to dinner, I shower and I go to dinner, and then I do my homework and hang out with my friends.
Good. And what do you think are the advantages of living on campus?
First of all, I think to live with all your friends and having the community and friendship built with all the international kids, of course. And I also think it's good for us ballet dancers, because we have a better chance to learn and stuff, and we have the studio right there.
Okay. And what's the big difference between before and after living on campus?
For me, it's I have a whole lot of more friends here, and I hang out with them all the time, and I think my life is like more structured here.
So far, we have looked into the lives of students and teachers living on campus. Thank you. 2020 has been a very trying year. Justin Kim set out to see what members of the MCI community hope for 2021.
What is your New Year resolution and why?
I am Jihan. My New Year wish is the end of the COVID because I want to travel outside more freely and without restrictions.
And are there any resolutions this year you couldn't achieve?
Yes, COVID-19 got in the way of many things. This year I wanted to continue my master's program, which I was not able to do.
Are there any resolutions this year you couldn't achieve?
Yes, I plan to go to Korea this year to meet my friend, but again, because of COVID, I can't go there.
For all of us in the Period 7 Intro to Journalism class, thanks for watching this edition of Bell Tower Press Live, and happy holidays.